Hey everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for another top 10 countdown right here on the main channel. I asked you guys if you would be up for a top 10 John Mayer whenever I reviewed the full album, The Search for Everything. You guys said you were down for it, and I know this might not be my most popular top 10 ever, but what the hell, I've been wanting to do this. I'm a pretty big fan of John Mayer, at least a couple of his albums. You'll see exactly which ones stack up the best, fare the best in my opinion. Some of his songs have worn thin over time. A lot of them, though, have a lot of staying power. I'll go ahead and spoil it for you now. I love Continuum. I am fascinated by that record. It's my favorite by him. Everything from his Jimi Hendrix Experience cover to his slower songs and then the ones that really just stab you in the heart. John Mayer plays with conviction, emotion, and even though he is capable of a lot more a lot of the time, he holds back and restrains himself, at least on the studio versions on some of these tracks, whenever it comes to his masterful guitar skills that I think we all know that he has. There's a good handful of honorable mentions stacked up in the description. Make sure you click the show more button down there. Check out what I have in the honorable mentions because they couldn't all quite make the top 10. It's like cutting off friends. You don't know who to cut off, but then I finally just was able to narrow it down by saying, look, these are the ones that you come back to the most. These are the ones that mean the most to you personally. Let's go with these. So here we go, number 10.
Gonna send it to my knees. Help me, gravity. Stay the hell away from me.
I have to say that I enjoy a lot of these songs even more live, like the Where the Light Is DVD CD combo. That was really my first experience with John Mayer. I had two of my friends that were super into him. At the time I was like, who is John Mayer? What is this pop crap? I'm not into this whatsoever. Then some of the songs slowly started to creep up on me, ones like Gravity, and I started listening to them on my own accord. In secret, of course. I was an emo kid, I was the rocker kid, I didn't listen to stuff like this, but I started to slowly expand my musical taste. And this is something, I think it was around 2008, I had already been exposed to a few other artists. I was starting to get into more hip-hop, electronic, pop music in general, and this really just pushed me in kind of a singer-songwriter point of view. It was artists like John Mayer and then Laura Marling that really built upon my taste. And with Gravity, I adore the guitar on this song. It's very airy, it's an atmospheric tune, and I can say that for a lot of Continuum. That's why I love this record as a whole. It builds upon themes and sticks with them, and it really pushes the boundaries of what he was doing with love and relationships. Like the first two records, it was kind of confined and it was kind of spotty. I don't really enjoy that much of his first two albums, although there are some great songs on there. Now, obviously with Gravity, this was a big turning point for him. This was a single on Continuum. It's fantastic, especially on the Where the Light Is live version. Holy crap, he can play the hell out of that guitar. It's masterful, and especially his vocals whenever he's singing lines like, Gravity, stay the hell away from me.
I'm a little lost at sea. I'm a little birdie in a big old tree. Ain't nobody looking for me here out on the highway. But I will be found.
Paradise Valley wasn't exactly my cup of tea overall, but I Will Be Found, Lost at Sea just goes down so easy. It's a beautiful song. It's something that's relatable, it's peaceful, and I like it because I feel like this is John Mayer finding and making his peace with the world. He moved out to Montana after the recording of Born and Raised, that was like 2011, 2012, and then immediately after he's in such a creative zone that he pumps out Paradise Valley, and even though it wasn't that well received, especially commercially, it's something that I think should have fared better than it did. There's some endearing songs on there, like Badge and Gun. You see that in my honorable mentions. There's some other good ones, like the collaboration with, at the time, I believe, girlfriend Katy Perry, but this is by far my favorite track and the only one that made it from Paradise Valley into my top 10.
How they say it's nothing to me. Baby, you're the only light I ever saw. I'll make the most of all the sadness. You be a bitch because you can. Oh, you try to hit me just to hurt me, so you leave me feeling dirty cause you can't understand.
There's a reason this one is treated with such high regard. Slow Dancing in a Burning Room is one of those modern pop classics. The guitar on it is instantly recognizable, just a searing slow burn, especially with the added gut punch that comes slowly. It's like somebody slowly, you could see them coming at you with their fist, but you can't move. It just hits you. Mayer was in this relationship that he knew was burning to the ground. They're just sitting there talking it out, dancing it out. Don't you think we ought to know by now? He sings towards the end of the track as that guitar rattles on, especially as he adds more flair and gets more technical as the song progresses. It's almost cataclysmic with the way that it comes to that climax, and especially as he sings those ending lines. But really what grips you throughout the song is of course the guitar and Mayer's personality here. It seems like he's crying out because he knows he's frustrated with this relationship, and he knows that she is as well. We're dancing around it. We know that this roof is burning and it is gonna fall and crush us. And he says lines like, "You be a bitch because you can. You're trying to hurt me. I'm trying to hurt you. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this dance? Let's just cut it off here."
I'm headed out west with my headphones on, holding a flat with a song in the back of my soul that no one knows. I just found out a ghost left town. The Queen of California is stepping down.
Queen of California is my only selection from the album Born and Raised. Like I was talking about, these are channeling the vibes of him moving out to the Midwest, basically getting away from everything. He's talking about stepping down from his position and his lifestyle in this track. The Queen of California is a stepping down. He's referring to himself here. He wants to get out of the limelight. He realizes that he's just become one of those TMZ celebrities where he was ranting on Twitter, or everyone cared about his high prolific relationships. Everybody wanted a piece of John Mayer, and he said, "You know what? I don't even know myself anymore. Let me get out of here." I love how somber this tune is, kind of almost a western folk country vibe coming through. And even though the song didn't fare as well as I hoped it would commercially, it's still got a really, really cool music video that I love to watch.
I don't care if we don't sleep it off tonight. Let's just fix this whole thing now. I swear to God, we're gonna get it right.
Even though John Mayer has always been tried and true John Mayer through to his core, he has mixed it up a few times, and I think 2009's Battle Studies is a perfect example of that. And I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not, but this is one of my favorite albums from him, honestly. It came out my senior year of high school, my friends were all listening to it, I was one of the first ones that got aboard the hype train, and I was listening through it and I thought it was a fantastic record from the start to the finish, and even the singles in between. Heartbreak Warfare is definitely dramatic and over the top, but it also kind of needs to be in order for it to succeed. That's what I like about the song. It's comparing it to war and being in these trying times. Clouds of sulfur in the air. It's heartbreak warfare. He's making it out to be a little bit worse than it is, I feel like, but at the same time, he's ready to get things figured out. He gets to the point and the guitar gets stuck in your head.
No way November will see our goodbye. When it comes to December, it's obvious why. No one wants to be alone at Christmas time.
It's really odd, but I've actually never spoken on camera about his debut album, Room for Squares. I don't even think I've really referenced any of the tracks. I mean, I've maybe said the album by name before, but I haven't gotten to talk about my love for the closing track on the standard original release, St. Patrick's Day. Now, I actually saw a few live performances of this on my TV growing up as a kid. I didn't really know who he was, but I included the one from Conan just because that one stood out to me. I remember it from like way back in the day, 2002, 2003. I found the clip on YouTube and decided to show it to you guys just so you could see a little bit of insight into what got me experienced to Mayer in the first place. Now with this track, he's relating it to holidays, the things that are going on with love, and I really love his vocals. I do think that they're better in the studio. He didn't sound that great on the Conan performance. I only showed that just for nostalgia's sake, but honestly, he comes through with a very sentimental tune here. I like that it's almost kind of a holiday type track, but at the same time, it transcends that and is able to get you into his mind. He was more mature on this song with his songwriting and the nuanced playing whenever it comes to the guitar and the rest of the instrumental as well. It fared much better than the rest of Heavier Things, which a lot of it hasn't aged that well, but this totally has.
When you're dreaming with a broken heart, giving up is the hardest part. She takes you in with a crying eye.
Ooh boy, talk about high school melodrama, Dreaming with a Broken Heart. This is definitely something that I played a lot of times back in the day because, you know, teenage angst and relationships and everything like that. You think you're down and out, and this is one of those songs that totally fit that for me, and I realize now, oh John, you were being totally ridiculous, or that relationship really meant nothing to you, but at the same time, this song was there for me. It had my back. Dreaming with a Broken Heart. You roll out of bed, down on your knees, for a minute you forget how to breathe. It's once again so dramatic, and maybe he did have this soul-crushing experience. Everybody has been there where they've had a loss, whether it be a death in the family, a friendship, or even a relationship, where you have those moments where life just overtakes you and you just want to cry. And this is a song for those moments, and it is sweeping, gentle, and beautiful. It's graceful in the way that it builds as well. It starts off on just the piano, works in the guitar, especially as he sings that second chorus. When you're dreaming with a broken heart, it progresses in the lyrics. It starts off, the waking up is the hardest part, and goes from there. I think In Repair is probably a lot of people's favorite John Mayer song. I hear that quite often. It's often regarded as his best, and I have to agree mostly. I would say that this one and my number 2 pick fluctuate quite often in their listing, so take this loosely. It could be either number 3 or else number 2. My number 1 is settled, that's for sure, but it could bump up to number 2. Ask me a month from now. What's so special about In Repair, you might ask? The guitar. It's fantastic. This song is like 6 minutes on the studio version, but the live version is just even better. Listen to it on Where the Light Is. It's so good, or really any live performance. He goes all out, just soloing all over the place with the guitar. Everything else, they just get so technical and shows his skill as a guitar player. His backing band as well is so fantastic. I'm in repair. I'm not together, but I'm getting there. There's a fascinating video of him in the studio creating this song with several other very, very talented musicians, and you can see that they made this song. It all came together in like 48 hours or something like that, just starting with a simple little groove, the intro to the track that you just hear being played on the piano, slowly working in the guitar, and then adding the vocals. I'm in repair, I'm not together, but I'm getting there. That's the refrain that you're gonna hear over and over again. And not that it's a super repetitive song by any means, but they add more and more layers as it progresses, and that's what makes it so amazing. It still stands out over 10 years later.
Oh, you can turn my lights out. I love you like XO. You love me like XO. You kill me, girl, XO. You love me like XO. It's all that I see. Giving you everything, baby, love me lights out.
I'm really not that big of a Beyonce fan. Even though I loved Lemonade, that shocked the hell out of me. I had not liked really any of her studio albums leading up to that. I think John Mayer's take on XO was fascinating. It's much more down-to-earth, endearing, and I would even dare say passionate. Sure, I get that she means what she's singing, and I do like her version of the song. It's not like I hate it. It's one of my favorite Beyonce songs, at least from her perspective. I don't know how much that's saying for me as someone who's not really a big fan, but still, at the same time, I like and respect the original song. But John took it and took it to the next level. The bluesy harmonica really sets the vibe for this. I could picture John in front of a campfire singing this to a lover, really trying to tell someone how much he loves them, and really just kind of set the tone, set the mood maybe perhaps. And he's relaying all these feelings here. He's singing Beyonce's words, but at the same time, they feel like they're coming from his heart. And whenever you can do that with a cover, add your own flair, make you forget that even the original song exists or that it was theirs, then you've done something right with your cover.
I'm so scared of getting older. I'm only good at being young. So I play the numbers game to find a way to say my life has just begun.
The speeding train has finally arrived at the #1 spot. Stop This Train off of Continuum by Mr. John Mayer. This song is very, very important to me. It's one that is so masterfully crafted, very elegant, graceful, and dare I say beautiful, and one that really just makes me tear up. In fact, I'm not afraid to admit that I've cried my eyes out to this song several times, thinking about the future, and it's a song about getting old, not being able to embrace the future, what's to come, being scared of what's around the corner, having a talk with your father and saying, what's to come, stop life, slow down, I'm getting old already. And this song has now been out for like 11 years, and I wonder how he reflects on it, and I wonder how hard it is for him to play live songs like this. Don't stop this train, though, is the advice that his dad passes on to him. Don't for a minute change the place that you're in. Live in this moment. Embrace what you have, because that's all you can do. You can't stop this train. And I really feel like this song is very personal to me, because he literally says in the song, John honestly will never stop this train. And he's obviously referring to himself like his dad's talking to him, and his name, of course, John Mayer, but my name being John as well. John honestly will never stop this train. And that's something that's always stood out to me. It's like personal advice handed down, because it's like directly saying my name. And that gets me. It just really gets me emotional, because I think about all these feelings, all the time that has passed, all the things that I'm nostalgic for, all the things that I wish that I could still do, the friends that I miss, the times that I can't have ever again. And I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. This song means the world to me, and honestly, I think it'll probably always be my favorite from John Mayer. I obviously adore the musicality of this track as well. The chord progression in this is insane. From a technical point of view, looking at that and the way that it progresses throughout the song, it's very, very impressive what he pulls off. There's very minimal elements going on here. You'll hear some keys chiming in and some of the instrumental breaks, mainly acoustic guitar, guiding the vocals and really just pinpointing everything in the direction that it needs to go. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my top 10 John Mayer songs. Keep in mind, these were just my picks for my top 10. Let me know yours in the comment section down below, and let me know what other top 10s you would like to see in the coming days. I've got a Patreon request for System of a Down coming up. I might do my top 10 main as well. There's a few others that I have in mind, but let me know what else you would like to see. I'll be asking you guys over on Patreon very soon. You can vote in the poll if you would like to. If you're able to help me out on Patreon, you can support by clicking the top link in the description down below, or the annotation on screen in just a second in the end card. If you're able to help out on Patreon, click that annotation over there in the corner. If you'd like to see my previous top 10 for Queens of the Stone Age, click right over here, or a recent review I did on the channel, click right here. Social media in the description, and I'll see you very soon for more top 10s, album reviews, and other stuff right here on ARTV.